Hello, everybody. This is R.K. Mullins, author of Time for a Serial Killer, A Lifetime of Murder. Hey, remember this now. Confession Before Death. Satan's Revenge coming out February the 14th, Valentine's Day. Every Valentine needs a murder in their life, right? There you go. And help me honor my mother's birthday. That's her birthday. She's no
Happy
longer with
birthday.
us. Thank you, ma'am. She's no longer with us. So help me honor her birthday. If you don't buy my book, think about her. Good enough, right? All right, today we
Right.
have Miss Leah Winters on here. She has wrote a nice crime fictional book, and I'm gonna let her tell you about it, right? Leah, take it away. Introduce yourself, and let's talk about your book.
Hello, everybody. How are you, authors, writers? Um, I'm very grateful to be on this show today. My book, the name of my book is Hired Divas from the Deep South. It's the Dome Cartel, and it's a book about four female um women divas. I'm gonna say four female divas. They belong to a cartel, and they are also hired killers. And they have to make a choice over love, loyalty, or racks and power. I'm not going to spoil. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I don't want to give you too much because I do want you to go out and get the book.
Right.
But
You a little bit on the nervous side, ma'am?
yeah.
Well, like I said, just relax. You're doing great. Thank you. All
Uh-huh.
right. Now, I tell you what, when did you start writing this book?
I actually, I read my last urban fiction in maybe July, and I was downloading books on Kindle Unlimited, downloading, and I have never ran through so many books. I was just frustrated. It's like I couldn't find any good books
Right.
anymore. Um, they started to sound the same, and then and I stopped reading for like 2 months.
Okay.
And then in September, I picked up my notebook and I just started writing. And I said, okay, I'm not a writer. I don't know how to do this. I can't do this. And then I put the pen down, and then I started watching videos of other YouTube videos of other authors, how they got started. And then I started watching lessons, that they talk, like I watched Stephen King
Yeah.
lesson on how to avoid reader's block, how to get past reader's block, the 10 lessons that you need to writing, tropes
Mhm.
and all, and I just started watching videos for like a month and a half straight. And
That's
then I
not too
picked up
bad.
the pen and I started back writing.
Well, you started in September. When did you publish?
I actually completed the book in December. I actually completed my editing in December. Then I sent it out to my editor and I published it in January.
So it's
I
fresh
had
on
to,
the market then.
yes, it actually hit the market January the 18th, Amazon.
Nice. You went through that pretty dad burn quick. I know authors it's taken years to do it, including me.
Well, I watched so many YouTube videos. I just I it was a learning curve for me
Hmm.
because I have it in me. It's like everything was trying to burst from the seams. It wanted to come out.
Right.
I could be cooking and the words flowed. So I would run and get my notebook pad and write. I would be watching a movie and I would run. I don't care. It don't matter what I'm doing. I could be riding in the car on a vacation and I keep my notepad with me. And every time the desire for my book, the words want to flow on the paper,
Right.
I have it there. I keep it there
Well, it sounds to me
because
like you did. You know what you're doing. At least you educated yourself to knowing what you're doing, and
I
it
had
sounds
to
like you've done
educate
a great
myself.
job.
I had to because I didn't know the first thing. I realized I didn't even know the parts of a book.
And what did you think when the first time you read something or heard something about an author's voice or a book's voice, right?
Right. I was like, how am I going to get these characters to stand out, to mean something, you know?
Right.
And about the middle of my book, I was like, I have one, two, three, four, five. I have six characters that I'm dealing with on a
Okay.
regular basis.
Right.
First of all, a video that I watched from Stephen King said that was hard itself.
It
But you know
can
what I
be.
did? Hmm?
I said it can be.
I keep a note like in my little notepad. I jot down my characters' names and what they do. So if I need to use them 3 chapters up the road, then I can just turn back to that page and
Right.
like, oh, that's what he was for.
Man, you're more organized than I am. I can tell you
Trust me,
that.
it's not easy.
I mean,
It's getting easier though. It's getting easier. I've learned so much with book covers and
mhm.
description. When I decided to do the description, I thought I was gonna lose my mind.
Right.
I've written summaries before, but I just
Well,
couldn't figure that summary out.
I think and this is just personal belief. I think when we're
Uh,
trying to do a summary for our own book, it's probably
hmm
one of the hardest things that we can do because
hmm
we got so much in there that we would like to put in the summary, but we know we
hmm
can't. And eh, I don't know. I find it difficult to write a summary for my book.
It
So
is.
I don't even do it. I just write a blurb for the back of it.
I ordered a book on Amazon. I downloaded
Hmm.
a book on Amazon on how to, write successful description, and I learned nothing.
Unfortunately, a lot of stuff out there like that doesn't have the correct information, in my opinion. I'm not no
Right.
expert, so I can't tell you. I ain't about to try to, right?
Like, what are you talking about? I don't know
Right.
what. Okay, let me figure it out.
Now, here's another question for you. I'm gonna have plenty of them. I guarantee you that.
Okay.
Are you traditionally published or are you self-published?
I'm self-published. I've had to figure this stuff on my own. I did not and do not have the money to pay $500 for a book cover. I do not have the money to pay $500 for an editor.
Mhm.
I'm digging this stuff out the mud.
I got you on that. I know exactly what you mean. That's why I started. That's one of the reasons why I started this in the first place. Is
Hmm
not all, and this goes out to the audience as well as you.
hmm
Most of us authors out there, we got a story to tell. Period. And it's fighting to get out. So we tell the story. We write a book, but we don't have the money to, if we can't get picked up by, one of the top 5 traditional publishers, they're not paying me, so I ain't gonna name them. Um, then we have to self-publish, or we have to pay for a publishing service, or we have to do vanity press, or a hybrid, or something along those lines. Most of us don't have the money to do that because it costs a lot of money, and also we don't have the money to promote our books properly. Correct?
Right. Right.
So that's why I started this show, is to try to help other authors to publish or not publish their books, but to help promote their books as best I can.
hmm
And
Right.
in some cases it works, some cases it don't. I don't know. I gotta ask, you got another one in the works?
Yes, I
What's
do.
the name of it? You got
I'm actually halfway done with this second novel. It's called Abductor Seduction.
ooh, I love the
You're not
title.
gonna be ready for that one.
That is a good title. I love that title. That's definitely a good one.
Yeah,
Titles can be a real pain in the neck too, right?
I know it. That's another
Man.
thing. But like I say, it's been fun. I feel like it's just a spirit moving me to make a lot of decisions that I have made in this
Mhm.
And a lot of people, in our groups give a lot of, they give good
Oh
information.
yeah.
They share their stories, and they're willing to help as well.
They, most authors out there are willing to help other authors. And after the show, I got some information I'm gonna pass on to you, and I'll send you some links over your messenger
Okay.
that may assist you. Okay,
Mhm.
I don't plug any company out there, regardless of who they are, because again, they ain't paying me. I ain't plugging them, right?
Okay.
I'm plugging authors. Miss Leah Winters here, and she's worked hard and a whole lot faster than most people I know to get a book out. I mean, Lord, from September to January, that's
Mhm.
dang quick. And
Trust me, I was scared, and I'm still scared. I don't know why I'm scared. I'm just still scared, but I'm excited. Like when I get ready to, uh, I take a break from writing, and then when it's like I'm eager to get back to writing because it's bursting at the seams. By then, if
mhm,
I if I stay away from that book 5 hours, it's like it's so much information them built up, where I need to go, and it's coming out. It's flowing like water.
it's like, last night me and my girlfriend was sitting around and I was talking, just sitting around talking, right, like we always do. And
Hmm.
an idea hit me for one of the books because I'm writing a 10 book series basically. And it was an
Hmm.
idea for one of the books that I'm currently working on. And
Hmm.
went over it with her, and she loved the idea. So I
Hmm.
know exactly what you're talking about as far as when you got that, when something just pops in your head, you got to get it out, right?
Right.
And you being more organized than me probably gets it out a little quicker than I do. But
I jot. I jot. I'm telling you, I have to because I forget. I forget. Like if I hadn't written about a character in 3 chapters,
yes,
I have
ma'am.
to either I jot it on the
Mhm.
sideline or I have to go back in
Right
and search for it.
there. Pardon me, y'all. There's software out there that you can get that are fairly inexpensive that can
Hmm.
help you do that. Um,
Oh.
I don't use any of them. I use Word. That's all I ever use because
Hmm.
that's just what I'm used to. And every
Hmm.
author has their own little software or whatever they use. When I first started writing way back when,
Hmm.
I used a notepad.
Yeah.
Pen and pad. I wrote most of the book through a notepad
Hmm.
until I decided, hey, look, I'll just use a computer. It's a little bit smarter.
I can't flow like that. I can't. I tried. I can't flow typing on a computer. I have to have that pen and paper.
And that is not a bad thing. That's a traditional way of writing. And
Hmm.
I am not going to sit here and down an author or anybody else for any particular way they do things. Now,
Hmm.
I'm going to tell you, I write in what my writing style. Every author has a different writing style or a different voice. My writing style, I call it conversational dialect, and my books are dialogue, and action driven.
Hmm.
What's your writing style?
Um, Wait a minute. Is
You're good. Take your
that a
time.
trick
Think about
question? Wait.
it. Hey, I don't always
Oh,
ask the easy ones.
what's my writing style? Okay, I tried to go ahead and do chapters 1 through 8 with the titles.
Okay.
Okay. And I ended up writing and I totally got off the whole track. I had to from chapters 3 through 5, I had to change the name of every chapter. So that doesn't work. Not an outline for me.
Nah, that's like
So
whenever I write a chapter, first thing I do is I just start. The first word that comes to my mind, that's when I start.
mhm,
That's when it starts with me writing. I might not have the title of that chapter until I'm done with it, but
exact
that's just
that
me.
I write the chapter first and then I the title is the summary of it.
Right. And it's working for you very, very well. Because I mean, look, I mean, September to January. Come on, people, that's dad burn incredible. I mean,
And I'm looking back and thinking about. I'm really surprised myself how fast I came up with the chat. The hardest thing was coming up with that book title. That was the hardest thing.
that that can be, and
Mhm,
in my book, the one that I've got published,
mhm,
I actually have in the beginning of the book. There's 3 books that are named in the beginning of it,
mhm,
and those 3 books are, and I explained that they're all um, empty pages.
mhm.
That's me trying to toy around with what I was going to name the book.
Okay.
But that was for me. But I was, my book, yeah, mine is a crime, drama, suspense, thriller. That's what I write. I'm
Mhm,
extremely depictive in the description of murders,
mhm.
and very graphic in those depictions.
Okay.
Not everybody likes that, so it verges on horror
Mhm.
as well as suspense thriller.
Okay.
I haven't read yours, but and I'm probably going to have to get it and try and read it. It does sound interesting. It definitely does. I love a good crime drama. I can tell you that.
The
Is
feedback. Mhm.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
Okay. You go ahead if you need to finish.
Oh no.
Oh.
What I was going to say was, what other than just a crime genre, what other genres do you think your book actually fits in?
Um. Urban.
Okay, urban. That's a good one. What about romance?
It is a
We
lot of
talked
sex in
about
it.
that, and what you
It is a
told me,
lot of
it kind of
sex.
fits in there. Yeah, huh? A lot of
It's a lot of
sex.
sex in there now. But I'm
I,
not gonna say okay.
I got to
Let's
tell my girlfriend
say
about it.
let's say it's I want her to read The Abductor Seduction.
All
She's gonna
right,
keep you up with that one.
please do, please do. And when you get ready to publish it,
Hmm.
we have an actual launch date, and you're gonna
Hmm.
the day after it launches. I would like you to contact me so
Okay.
that I can have you on the show so we can promote that one too, right?
This the higher divas is more on a gangster level, crime, suspense.
Right,
I'm not gonna say it's erotica or nothing like that.
all
It's
right.
hardcore mostly.
Got you. I mean, I got a little sex in mind, but I try to stay away from it becoming. I purposely try to stay away from it becoming pornographic because
Right.
that's not what my book is about. You know.
Hmm. Okay.
Plus,
Right.
I was raised to be a southern gentleman, and getting into the vulgar stuff as far as that is concerned. Yeah, no, that's just not me. But I got to
Well,
put a
with the
little romance
horror
in there.
and stuff, that's a little different.
The horror is in mine. That's hardcore. I will say that, and it's
Yeah.
not for the weak of heart. I will tell you that much
Right.
because
It's
both the
gory.
book. I'm sorry
It's gory.
that it is, but that's what I like.
Hmm.
I don't want to read a book, and it brings me up to the next question. Pardon me, y'all. And I ain't editing this, right? Um, it brings me up to the next Dadburn question. Mine verges on are very gory as far as the details of the murders and things. And I do not cut back on it.
Hmm.
Since yours is more of an urban crime drama, I would say, right? I have to think that you got some murders in there as well.
Hmm. Oh, it's very graphic. Like you can visualize every from the from the step of them walking through the door and
Mhm.
walking out the door after each murder. You can pretty much visualize the scenery.
That is great because
Yeah.
when I started writing, the one thing I didn't want to do was
Mhm.
I got sick and tired of reading books that
It
would
left
be
me
five or
empty.
I'm sorry.
It left me empty.
Oh, you ain't even kidding. There'd be 500, 600 dad burn pages, and they'd spend 2 chapters talking about a dad burn bush and ain't got nothing to do with the story. And I'd be bored out of my cotton picking mine before they ever got into any exciting stuff. So I mean, even though mine is I thought it was a short story, 60,000 words, 178 pages. That's pretty small for a
Mhm.
novel. I didn't think it was a novel, but from the time it starts to the time it ends,
Uh-huh.
they ain't no guessing, and it ain't
Right.
boring. I got to imagine that yours is probably kind of similar, isn't it?
The feedback I've gotten are from my, the fellow in my groups and
Hmm.
family and friends and community.
Right.
They say with this term, they say it starts out fire.
Yeah, there
It's
you
fire.
go.
It's
There you go.
fire.
Starts out on fire, right? There you go.
Yeah.
And are you planning on the second one? Is that a sequel, or is it? Would you say maybe a trilogy or a series?
I was just the second one was going to be a standalone.
Gotcha.
But the first one is going to be I'll do a series because I've gotten two messages
Hmm.
in my inbox said they were upset because they wanted more.
I've got the same dad burn thing. I've got a
Okay.
couple of those. I mean, I've actually had some people that did some review or that's bought the book and then wrote a review on Amazon, right? And every dad burn one of them say, this needs to be a series. What I hadn't told them was it was the first one of the series.
Okay, 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 okay.
So, I mean, but when I started this, I originally was just going to do one standalone book.
Mhm.
And I didn't even think my goal was just to finish the dad burn thing. I didn't even dream I'd ever get it published or ever
Mhm.
publish it. What uh, did was there any doubt in your mind that you would publish your book at that time when you started it?
Mhm. Yes,
Hmm.
because a book on Amazon, w- am I crazy? Like,
We
yeah,
must be. We're authors, right?
right, right.
Well, ma'am, you have done an excellent job. I can say that much right now. And people just remember, the only reason I do these shows is for one reason only, is
Mhm.
most of us don't have that orange banner that comes with Amazon saying we're a bestseller.
Mhm.
And not looking beyond there, you're robbing yourselves of the opportunity of some really great reads. You know, like Miss Leah Winters here and her book. Uh, if I try to say the whole name of it, I know it's something. Let's see, Hired Divas of the Deep
From
South.
the
Did I get it
deep
right?
south.
Yeah, I got it.
Yes, from the deep south. Yes.
It's kind of weird. Usually, I don't get it right. And she's done an excellent job on this book, from what I can gather. And she's getting some really top-notch reviews on it. Don't let anyone who sends you a negative review. Number one, don't allow them to pull you down.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And to add to that,
Hmm.
I see everybody's grabbing for reviews, reviews. Okay. So I see 30 reviews, 5-star book with 30, 30 reviews on it. Guess what? I'm not going to read it just because it has 30 people in read and they put a 5-star. It's my decision, you know.
You
I
are
have to
correct.
make that decision.
You're
I would read a
absolutely correct.
person without views at all.
Right. I mean, I've read books that were like just put out there and they hadn't had a single cotton picking review, just like you just said, right?
Mhm, mhm.
And I think every book it deserves a chance. and it's like a fledge. I will say, it's almost like a child growing. When the child is first born, everybody's so excited,
Mhm.
and then sometime over time, sometimes it gets to the point where they're not so much, right? I think it's
Right,
sad,
right.
but every book is like that, in my
Hmm.
opinion. We
Yeah,
all would like to be on the bestsellers list,
right,
but
right.
that's not the end all be all to the dad burn books out there, people.
It's not. I know
You
my book is a bestseller. It's not on the bestsellers list, but it's a bestseller to me.
exactly, and that's the only thing that matters, because if you have the foresight to write the book and the courage to publish it, because yeah, it is scary. You said it yourself. It's scary as all get out, right?
Yes.
Because now you're putting out something there and you don't like, oh man, are they going to like it? You kind of, and you're leery of it.
Hmm.
Not all of us are like Stephen King or Tom
Right.
Clancy or, Patterson,
Danielle Steele.
Danielle Steele, right? They
I
all
love
started
Danielle
off,
Steele.
there you go. They all started off slow. Trust me, we all have.
Hmm.
I'm no better. I ain't got but one book out. Two's coming up, but I ain't got but one. And
And
this
from
young
what I
lady,
heard, the more you put out, the more you get noticed.
that is so true. That I've heard the same thing. And I've also been told by some pretty dadburn decent authors out there that if you have a series or a trilogy or things of that nature, that you end up you're better off, because you get, if you, especially if you get a following for that particular book, the first one, usually by the time you might hit the third or fourth one, you might have a pretty good sized following for it, right? And
Right.
unfortunately, I have to end this show,
Okay.
but
Okay.
I will tell you this much, Miss Leah,
Uh-huh.
it's been a
Yeah.
dad burn pleasure having you on here. All right. And you brighten up the dad burn screen just by smiling. There you go. I love that. And I don't think a single person who sees this is going to be
Mhm.
bored. And at
I
least
don't
I
think
know
they
better.
are.
I don't think so, right? There you
So
go. And people, let me tell you something. Miss Leah
uh,
Winters, her book, Hired Divas from the Deep South. Y'all got to check that sucker out, especially
check it out. You'll
you
love
ladies
it.
out there that like romance and sex scenes. There you go. That's your ticket right there. You know, Miss Leah, I'm gonna give you one last shot. Tell us a little bit about yourself, a little short one, and your book.
And guess what? I'm a nurse. I've been a nurse for 19 years,
Nice.
and I've been reading for 25 years. And my cousin, she's been reading probably like 35 years, and she finally read my book, and she told me, I did not think you had it in you. She said my phone was going dead, and I had to hurry up and plug it in. I didn't want to wait 20 minutes. I had to get back to the book.
There you go. There you go, ma'am. I have to salute you. Any health, any healthcare worker out there, nurses,
Mhm,
doctors,
mhm.
whoever, my hat goes off to each and every one of you being on the front lines of this of the coronavirus and all that. And I know y'all are risking a lot to take care of to help take care of the health needs of the general public. And like I said again, my hat goes off to you, and you got my undying respect for that, ma'am. As well as you got my undying respect for being an author of a really good book. I do believe y'all. All right.
Mm.
Hey, let me tell you this now. It's R.K. Mullins, author of Time for a Serial Killer, a Lifetime of Murder. Hey, Confessions Before Death, Satan's Revenge, coming out February the 14th, my mother's birthday. Help me honor my mother's birthday. I don't care if you buy my book or not. Think about my mother. Hey, come visit us over on Author to Authors on Facebook. Every author
Uh,
I have on my show comes off that Facebook group. Post on there. Hey, just put on there, hey, happy birthday to your mom. Perfect, right? And remember,
Perfect.
every dad burn Valentine needs a good murder in their life, right? There you
Right.
go. All right, y'all. Been great here on Author to Author with Miss Leah Winters and her book, Hired Divas from the Deep South. Y'all go buy that sucker now. You hear?